When we say memes, you are probably imagining the funny images or videos that you can find on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or even TikTok for the younger generation. While this is a component, memes are elements of a culture or a system of behaviors that may be considered to be passed on from individual to another, especially by imitation. Other examples may be fashion trends, catchy songs, or even slang.
Davy Johnson's Mapping the Meme says, "The meme in itself is a valuable methodological tool that is particularly suited to the analysis of popular culture discourses that transform social practices in spite of their apparent superficiality and triviality." Johnson is saying that although memes may appear stupid at the surface level, they have the ability to transform social standards because the type of medium is more shocking and more appealing to audiences today.
Like mentioned earlier, memes can be the images and videos we see on social media, fashion trends, etc., whereas traditional rhetorical arguments are typically based in speeches and text. However, according to several published studies, humans are much more receptive to visuals such as images and videos over merely text or listening to only audio. Dan Zarella, HubSpot's social media scientist, found tweets with images are 94% more likely to be tweeted than those without. This means that the tweet will be able to be circulated more, and as we've learned in past lectures, the circulation of messages is more important than the message itself, which can rile up groups and produce social change.
Anyone with a Twitter account has probably seen the Gun Girl. She originally took her senior photo at Kent State University with a gun and now travels across the country taking photos with her several guns and conducting interviews about the Second Amendment. While it has brought a lot of backlash and controversy, she was brought to fame due to the circulation of her message through the photos she posted on Twitter. Her rise to fame and her personal goals and ideologies are generally well known, but how many people in general can say they know the details about any mayor or senator's agenda of any topic?
Furthermore, an experiment conducted in the UK tested two groups of subjects to test which form produced a greater memory recall, photos or audio-only words. They had one group try to memorize a series of photos, while the other group tried to memorize a series of words from a recording. They concluded that the mean score in memory test for picture recalled was greater than words recalled. This means that when we simply listen to speech, like traditional rhetorical argument, we aren't actually retaining as much information as we would if there was some visual component, such as memes.
The power of memes may also be attributed to the increase of modern technology and thus shorter attention spans. Traditional rhetorical argument, whether it be through speeches or text, may have been effective in the past. However, as the hold of technology rises, our attention spans fall due to increasing amount of distractions. We take our notes on our laptops while listening to a lecture and quickly find ourselves on a completely different website. Since attention spans are quite short, it is difficult to retain information from a speech, especially if it is a lengthy one, like those found in traditional rhetoric. Therefore, memes and photos and videos are more effective at conveying information in a quick and memorable way.
In fact, Davy Johnson's Mapping a Meme says, the meme directs the critic's attention to different functions of communication and ultimately offers a compelling way to describe the political operations of a culture that's characterized by speed, superficiality, and ahistoricy. Johnson is basically saying that due to society's fast pace, the stress of superficial qualities, and constantly changing technologies, the meme grabs attention and has greater ability to produce political operations.
For example, a red hat with "Make America Great Again" can be considered a meme, and it signifies conservative ideology, specifically Trump's agenda. But as the message circulated, it has also transformed to represent racism and homophobia. There have been numerous crimes and harassment carried out in the name of "Make America Great Again." This was shown recently when a group of boys wearing these hats were harassing Native Americans, screaming "Build the Wall" to the indigenous. While this may not be progressive change, the ideologies of the red hat quickly spread and produced social change nevertheless.
Arguments simply do not have the range of communication that memes do. Ideographs and traditional rhetorical arguments are limited to words, whereas memes can range from fashion to catchy tunes and use both verbal and nonverbal concepts. Cultural memes can be used to spread messages traditional rhetoric cannot do.
For example, the article Mapping the Meme introduces the idea of the rise of metrosexuality gave way to gay rights. Michael Bronsky, an American academic writer, defines the metrosexual as a trend that represents the emergence of a new man, as the lines between gay and straight have over the past 3 decades been blurred. He says this can be attributed to the once popular TV show Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. This is the original version of Netflix's spin-off Queer Eye, where gay men give straight men fashion and social etiquette advice. Over the past few decades, the definition of masculinity has changed, and it is now socially acceptable and normal for men to exhibit fashions and behaviors that were once associated with the gay identity. This cultural shift of acceptance and newly defined masculinity gave rise to the gay rights movement and ultimately now same-sex marriage.
Traditional rhetorical arguments tend to use ideographs that hold little meaning, such as discrimination, equality, and morality. Most Americans say that they are against discrimination of the LGBT community because few people would say that they agree with discrimination. But the question comes in when certain people use ideographs such as morality to justify their underlying beliefs. The meme in this case was the fashion and behavior trends that circulated over decades, which ultimately led to social and political change.
Traditional rhetorical arguments and ideologies, memes are incorporated into everyday life. Whether the exposure is through social media and inside jokes, fashion trends, or catchy songs, it is all around us. Due to the unconventional medium of the message, we become more captivated by the message. The message itself becomes easier to understand and is more likely to circulate.